Clash as we check out the men in charge. Hayden Kennedy is wearing number 7. The 3 men in white tonight for this clash. Wearing number 20 is Kieran Nichols, and making up the trio wearing number 35 is Martin Ellis. And also a warm welcome to the Dipper to the Gabba. Dipper.
Thanks very much, Andy. You're spot on, mate. Absolutely perfect conditions down here. Calm before the storm. I've actually been speaking to one of the Brisbane roofers out here who said, Dipper, we'll have no rain for 2 days. And Corey McKernan, just a slight knee problem, but should be all right for next week, Sandy.
Thank you, Dipper. Well, that's going to be a blow for North Melbourne. No Carey and no Corey McKernan. But they are set to go. In this quarter-final clash, the winner, as we said, to take on Carlton, who beat Collingwood by less than a kick. Robert Scott is caught with a football in the middle of the ground, and he's been pinged. So the Bears will go into attack through Kennedy. And it's a prodigious drop punt up towards Merritt territory. Got a hand to it and is going to be paid the football. Big Roger. Well, he needs just 4 games in the home and away to join the 300 club. And what a start this would be for the Brisbane Bears. Made his debut back in 1978, Lee.
Oh, he's been a good, strong, honest player, and I mean the ability to take that second grab on the way down, keep your eyes on the ball and keep your sort of strength, even though he didn't take it first grab. That's been one of the hallmarks, I think, of Roger Merritt's marking style. He'll always stand his ground. One of
Kaniva's favourite sons. He shoots from 30 metres, almost directly in front. Mickey Martin turns round and sees it sail straight through the middle. So the Bears away through Roger Merritt, and just the start they wanted.
Well, they're very short of big man, of course, North Melbourne, with Capuano out and McKernan out as well. Danilchenko, who's really almost a flanker-sized player, is their #1 ruckman, and Matthew Clark's a very good ruckman in his own right. So that is going to be a spot that Danilchenko is going to have to work hard to break even in.
North Melbourne not all that happy playing up here at the Gabba, thinking that maybe this game should have been played in Melbourne. The Bears have only ever won 3 games in the Ansett Cup, and all those wins have been here at the Gabba, as we see the North Melbourne bench just getting ready there for the action. But what a marvellous start by Roger Merritt. Clark, well taken out of the centre square by Ashcroft. Inside 50, good chance for the Bears, but Scholl, cross half back. Struggled last year, trying to find a bit of touch this year. So holding on, not paid by the umpire. Allison, centre wing position, goes short, running onto the ball. Good strong play. Is Freeborn, centres the ball back towards centre half forward. Champion sizes up the situation to Kennedy. Caught, put his teammate under fierce pressure. Lambert with those quick hands, gets the ball back to Buse, who's just been outstanding in the pre-season games. Kicks a long bomb back towards the edge of the centre square. Swash, here's the call from Laidley. Can't take control. Still on the half-forward line for the Bears. Good strong play here. Coming away is Peter Bell, recruited from Fremantle. And Lappin sends the Bears back into attack.
Would have almost got one in the back. In fact, the umpire has seen a free kick further down the ground. It's going to go the way of Dean Laidley. He gets it off quickly to Wayne Schwass. In a spot, a bottle will go back to Laidley, still tucked in the back pocket. Has a look now in towards the middle, chipping short. Martin was there at the back, unable to take a clean possession was Merritt. He's set upon, loses the football. Martin applies the tackle on Kennedy, but the whistle is sounded, and it will be a free kick going back to Roger Merritt. So a good start by the veteran. He's between centre and half forward, some 65 from home. A little unsure, eventually decides to just chip into half forward. It's effective. He finds Scotty McIver, and it was McIver and Merritt who did the damage in front of goal last week.
I think we see the situation here that most clubs in the competition are very, very conscious that if a player has a free kick or set kick from that 60 to 70 metres out, of trying to create the space inside the 50-metre line just to let a player drop into. Scott McIver did it. It was a good weighted kick by Merritt. Gives a set shot.
Fully recovered after being cleaned up by Tim McGrath, but he's pulled that kick away to the right and registered one behind. As we have a look at the Bears bench, including Craig Starcevich. So North Melbourne Well, they've hardly gone down into their forward line as yet. Freeborn was there, unable to do anything with that football. Scott could have been held. He persists, rocked right on his hammer, and eventually it's over the line with Wayne Schwass. The Bears doing all the attacking. There was a little rain here in Brisbane this afternoon, but it has since cleared. And we should be in for a good night. Here's Scott, the Norwich rising star and an excellent young player, chipping short to Kennedy, who can kick a football a country mile. He's going to go virtually from the middle, from the cricket pitch. It's a lovely kick. It's down to the big guns in the forward zone. No one able to take it. Merritt picks up the football, tried to farm it out. Intercepting was Laidley. North Melbourne may get out of trouble, but they're not out of it yet. Chipping in was Trent Bartlett. A high kick goes in towards the pocket. Laidley's at the back there, and the umpire has found a free kick. There's a couple of characters there in Mick Martin and Roger Merritt. This time it goes the way of Mickey Martin.
Mighty Mick in the back pocket for the Kangaroos. And it's a poor kick, just pops it up in the air. Lambert in front of the pack, does well, back to Bartlett, being dispossessed by Armstrong. We've got a ball up just 35 metres out from the Bears' goal.
Two tough men opposed there, Roger Merritt and Mick Martin.
Swash playing on McRae, that'll be a terrific duel. Merritt against Fairley. Swash taps the ball over the line for a boundary throw-in. Got McIver on screen. Very heavy knock last week. His first kick tonight off target. Merritt against Martin. And a free kick's been paid. And it's going to Mighty Mick.
Scotty McIver will be hoping for a big year. Needs 16 games to join his 200. That'll be a trouble you're never really worried about, is it, KB?
I was in it twice, actually.
Yes, you were. Here's a good mark from Kennedy. Gee, he started well too, Lee. Kennedy kicks in towards the half-forward zone. Robert Scott is there. He defends, giving the hand pass to the running Wayne Schwass, and the lightning left footer goes up towards the left half-forward. And this time North have a chance through Brett Allison to go forward. Allison, the left footer towards the 50. No mark to Longmire. He'd picked out his target. And the Bears, it's Michael Voss who got the first hand pass away. Should get out of trouble. Back down towards centre wing to Nigel Lappin. Good shepherding sees Lappin clear. Centering kick in towards half forward. Needs someone to take a mark. Schwass was high for North Melbourne. Couldn't complete it. McRae sets upon him with a good tackle. But North's Ross Smith gets the hand pass away to Laidley. Laidley chipping with the left foot back towards centre wing. Scott is there, but the whistle has sounded. It's going to go back. It'll be a North Melbourne free kick. So North lucky to get out of trouble. The Bears doing all the attacking. Scott's kick is short. It's effective. It finds Peter Bell. But the umpire said no, give it back. There's a little bit of confusion here.
Peter Bell.
So Bell's off. Robert Scott has got to wait. Starting off with Torquay, then Geelong. Robert Scott. Now finding a home at Arden Street. The whistle has sounded. The play can now go on. Scott will chip up towards the 50. But good, strong taken for Brisbane by Bradshaw. He goes back towards centre wing once again. And at the back, taking a good mark is Hart. Swings round onto the left foot. The Bears doing all the attacking. McIver on 50. Scotty McIver has big Roger in the square. It's a wobbly old punt kick. Not very pretty at all. And North through Scholl should come away. Back towards centre wing. It comes wide. Freeborn's his target. Got hands to it for a moment. Still pushing the ball along in front. Gave it away to Dion Scott. Off to Buse. Buse a left foot chip up towards right half forward. They pounce over the top. That was Fairley with an effective spoil. Down towards Scott. Scott round the body. Close to the boundary line is Laidley. Almost pushed in the back. And in fact was, said the umpire. He'll take the free kick.
Been a terrific player since coming across from the Eagles. See Laidley there being pushed in the back by Trent Bartlett, and Archer takes a very strong mark against Dick Foss. Plays on quickly down towards centre forward, but no one home for North Melbourne. And Champion takes an easy mark. He's getting a call short from Scott. So the Bears 1-1-7. North Melbourne yet to score. Scott decides to transfer the ball back to Dick Voss. Still inside the defensive 50. Goes short once more and finds Bradshaw. So they're trying to maintain possession of the ball. Once more, another short pass to Clark. He's got a chance to play on. Kicks the ball down towards the half-forward line. Lambert's his target. He's got 2 to beat. Wins the ball. Great play by Lambert. Feeds the ball back off. Comes to McIver, caught. McRae. Oh, she tripped. No play on, says the umpire, and he's pinged. And the boos of the Brisbane crowd.
What do you think, Lee?
I think it was a good decision. He ducked his head, deliberately ducked his head, and that's no free kick, and the umpire called it correctly, in my opinion.
Well, the Bears have a chance to go forward once again. It's going to come back after Matthew Armstrong kicked it down over the centre. And Buse will hand it over to his teammate in Craig McRae, the Rookie of the Year. And look at this for loose checking. Voss from 50 metres. Let's one go, Michael Voss. For behind. 1-2, Brisbane. North yet to score. And at the moment, all Bears here at the Gabba. Early days, of course. But North without, if you've just joined us, a couple of their big guns. Mickey Martin, well, he kicked a goal last week. Probably wants to get into this goal-kicking action. Thinks it's pretty good. Here's Danilchenko. Left foot chip. Is not good enough. It drops short, but there's a fine tackle. They've still got a chance through Schwass, who went storming through it. An attempted soccer off the ground, not effective. Voss again, look at him, go to ground this time with the football. Still manages to punch it forward. David King is there for North Melbourne, and they've got him well and truly covered. He picks himself up, but there will be a bounce. Wasn't named in the original list, King. North have had a couple of injury problems. Rock does the roving work up towards the half-forward line. And the mark taken by John Blake. Asking for, pleading for 50 and getting it. So North Melbourne should get their first score.
Yes, it's one of those 50-metre penalty. It's a very extreme penalty, isn't it, for what is probably just a little bit of over-aggression on the mark.
So Blakey, 35 out directly in front. Voss on the mark. This for North Melbourne's first for the night, and he's rammed it into the woodwork. Disappointing kick for the Roos, one behind.
Well, they're bad misses. I mean, really, the Bears have had all the play in the first 10 minutes, and when you get a shot from 20 metres out, you've got to get that first goal on the scoreboard, and North haven't been able to get that at this point.
Kennedy takes the short kick out. He's usually a thumping kick, but this time he finds Archer across the half-forward line, feeds it off quickly. Swash also can kick it long, but good play there by Clark. Smothered it. So the Bears across half-back in trouble. Kennedy took it from Bradshaw. Out wide to Bartlett, who's a very impressive young player. He was terrific in the finals last year, particularly against Carlton. I think that showed the talent that he's got from kid from Deloraine in Tasmania. And here's another guy, another veteran this time in Scott McIver.
He's actually might have a bit of trouble with McIver's height, Ross Smith. I mean, he normally plays on the smaller rover type, and just that little bit of extra height has troubled him in this first bit of the game.
This is the Buse who goes straight down towards the goal square. White with a quick snap. Can he kick it? He has. No, it's bounced the wrong side. Minor score.
It's a big rap, and he's younger, but he's got that Kouta-Fides look about him, White. Yeah. They sort of got such enormous balance and acceleration for, you know, probably players of 6'3".
Two great athletes, Lee, aren't they?
They are.
Swash to Blakey. Blakey, I should say. And also another 50-metre.
Technical ruling of a free kick against an adjacent cup pair of players. So, player with the ball gets 50 metres. And the crossed arms, another blood rule.
So it brings Blakey into the centre of the ground.
Scott McIver's leaving the ground. Yeah, blood rule.
Blood rule.
North Melbourne yet to kick a goal. Brisbane Bears 1-3-9 to 1 behind. Corey McKernan tonight for North Melbourne. And also missing for the Brisbane Bears. McAdam, Gowers, McLean and Lynch. So there's a fair amount of depth up here in Brisbane.
It's amazing how we talk White's a bit like Kutafidis. Kutafidis about 3 years younger. Just goes to show the type of impression he's given us for such a young player, Kutafidis.
Swash kicks the ball where he finds Longmire, right on 50. Move it quickly. It's a long bomb once more into the goal square. The high flyer there was Clark, who punches it through for a point.
So the Roos doing it in singles at the moment in this first quarter here at the Gabba. They're just 2 behinds, down by 7 points, but it could have certainly been considerably more with the amount of play that the Brisbane Bears have had. And with kicks like that, it's certainly not going to help their cause.
It said there's more pressure on the player kicking in from fullback these days than any other spot in the ground.
Centering kick towards Blakey. He doesn't get a kind bounce initially, but he's got time to swing around now and get the hand pass away. An opportunity for King to kick long in towards full forward. Can Archer take a mark? He comes flying over the top, but couldn't take it. Kennedy keeps the ball in play and gets out of trouble. Hughes wraps it under his arm and away. He scoots up towards the centre wing. Perfect pass finding Hart. He's under pressure from Swass. Gets the handball over the line and will have a throw in on centre wing. Well done by Wayne Schwass to apply that tackle, because the Bears were away on centre wing in front of this magnificent new stand here at the Gabba. The crowd's members in front of us must feel they're almost on the ground. It's marvellous. Scott does the roving work. Blakey almost infringed, and Schwass could have given away a free kick. The advantage is going to be paid. The Bears are away. Here's McRae. The left footer, the drop punt, it's high. Merritt's got his eyes on it. Martin has lost it. Merritt's got it. Roger Merritt directly in front, 25 metres out. Should kick his second.
It's the advantage of that good long kick. I mean, McRae's a beautiful long 50 to 60 metre kicker. Just, was able to get over the head of Martin, and Merritt's body use, of course, was enabled him to get the best position.
Merritt. For number 2 and for the Bears number 2. He makes no mistake.
Well, Danilchenko has played on the wing and half back, and you can see there the height difference with Clark winning that tap. Free kick to North, Armstrong. Looking for Longmire, he's got 2 to beat. Ground level, Buse is there, so's Freeborn, quick hands. Blakey falls to ground. Ball up 35 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. Blakey on screen. An important player for North since he crossed from Fitzroy too. Scholl tries to crash his way through. Out towards Archer. Twists and turns. Back to Scholl. Into the forward line. Kennedy at the back of the pack for the Bears. Does well. Kicks the ball off to Scott. Got wonderful disposal. Kicks out wide to Lappin. Hasn't been paid the mark. Kicked off the ground by McRae, well trapped by North. Scholl on hands and knees, back towards Lambert. Dual best and fairest winner, 1 for Richmond, 1 for the Bears. That's unusual in league football. To Voss, under pressure. And Ross Smith, Mr. Dependable, takes it in the centre of the ground.
Let's keep an eye on Darryl White and Anthony Rock having a little bit of a chat to one another. Here's Archer marking 53 metres out. Strong player, Glenn Archer. Kicks from 55 with a drop punt. And it's belted over the back by Kennedy, conceding it behind.
There's going to be a tremendous load on Glenn Archer and John Longmire. I think they have to kick plenty if North are to win this game.
Still looking for their first goal. As Kennedy goes to the outer side, a good kick. And an excellent mark taken by the young ruckman. The Bears looking extremely good in this first quarter here at the Gabba as they drifted up towards the half-forward line once again. No one at home, however. North have got the numbers. It's Smith who gives it away to Schwass. Schwass flicks it high up towards centre wing. This may bounce towards the boundary line. Keeping in play will be Freeborn. Got a little bit of time to chip over the top to Blakey, who can move it on. John Blakey's away. Oh, almost. Ball to ground once. He's okay. 70 metres out. Flat-looking punt kick in towards the pocket it goes. And it's just a little too far on that occasion for Chris Groom. It's over the line and a throw-in. Chris Groom, gee, he's done some travelling in his football career, hasn't he? South Adelaide, Adelaide, Fremantle. now preferring the sunshine of Queensland.
North Melbourne yet to register a goal. Taken by Buse, slips over that critical moment. Allison with a short kick, chance for Freeborn. Kicks it straight up in the air. Archer looks like he'll take the VC, stands underneath it. But Ashcroft for the Bears comes away. A class player. Kicks wide. Good punch away by Fairley. And we see Scott there indicating he thought it was a push in the back to Trent Bartlett.
Before any North fans think that Chris Boone's perfect Queensland, he's only enjoying the sunshine for the day, don't worry.
So Scott, with Robert Scott there of North Melbourne, his opponent. Clark dominating the ruck with his height. Lambert down towards half forward. But we see here a free kick.
He must have played the push in the back.
After he kicked the ball.
Yeah, so that's why the 50 metres come forward. Well, as he kicked the ball, doesn't matter really. If the push in the back as the player's about to kick it, the ball, he takes the free kick 50 metres downfield or forward.
So Voss takes it. And Dennis Pagan on the line, barking instructions. Mark Dawson next to him. Part of the Brains Trust at North Melbourne. Michael Voss. Best and fairest for the Bears last year. From just on 50. That's a beautiful kick.
An excellent start by Brisbane. Are they looking at the flags, Lee? One would suggest they're kicking with a bit of a breeze.
I think it's a Zephyr. I don't think it's affecting play too much, Sandy.
Slight Zephyr.
Magnificent old car they were too.
Yeah, because there's another blood reel, I think, going on off like yo-yos here.
Yes, it is, unfortunately. Just holding play up. Gives us a stop-start affair. Dipper, have you got a report on Zephyrs?
No, yes, Andy. Peter Bell is back on the ground now wearing the #1 jumper, not 26.
Thank you very much for that. This is Andrew Buse defending across half-back. He's got assistance in the form of Sean Hart. And Dipper taken. Take him out. Thank you.
You still got it.
Yes. Well, of course, there's a big game coming up for Hawthorn, I think, and Dipper's been working on that and his fitness for a couple of years. Let's hope he's okay.
Difficult. I mean, North's game plan, as we talk about so often, is to kick the ball sort of long and not necessarily high, but long to centre half forward. And Glenn Archer, who's sort of barely above 6 foot, the tallest player. So an adjustment to their game plan will be required, one would think, or to adapt to tonight's personnel.
Well, North have got it inside 50 once again. Archer's the target, unable to take it cleanly. He does have support, however, and he's certainly needed in the form of Chris Groom. Loses it to Hart. Hart flicks it round his body, doesn't travel very far. Stevens, the left footer, in towards full forward. Dropping back is Richard Champion, and he takes a timely mark in defence. Just goes to the defensive 50 and Marcus Ashcroft. Been a fine player for the Bears as well. Ashcroft up towards centre wing. Over the top of the pack it goes. Scott's waiting at the back. He wobbles a punt kick back towards half forward, but it's Sean Hart. Shrugs the tackle, gets the hand pass away. The Bears looking for goal #4 as they go up towards the half forward line once again. Socket clear. A chance for Voss. Michael Voss has a look inside 50. Merritt and Martin. Merritt used the body. It drifts over the back. Schwartz is going to be the first one to it. Concedes it behind as he slams it into the goalpost. Interesting, that one. And Brisbane moved to 3-4. North are 3 behind.
The crowd never liked that, but I always thought you don't get beaten by points. And if you're in danger, the 6 points beat you. Crowd don't like it, but I think it's good percentage play by Schwash.
Smith to Martin down to Laidley. Half-back flank. Kicks out wide to Blakey. Knocked down there by Bradshaw. Trying to keep the ball in play. Sean Hart's on hands and knees as well. And free kick is going to John Blakey. Gives it back to Armstrong. North Melbourne have to move the ball quickly into their forward line. Not much happening for them there. They're outnumbered 3-2. Punched away by Dick Voss. At ground level, Buse. Away from last line of defence finds McRae. Quick hands over the top to Voss. Got a chance to give it across to Lambert. He'll rocket the ball wide. He does so. Out here to White. He kicks long into the square, but no one home for the Bears. Martin will take it easily. Gives it to Swash. Long raking hand pass, put his teammate under fierce pressure. Bradshaw did well for the Bears, read it well. Scott with a quick kick. So no clean ball play by North Melbourne. Danichenko bumped out of the way. Dick Boss now feeds it off to Scott. They can raffle it, gives it across to Lappin. Kicks the ball down towards Bartlett's playing in front, pushing and shoving with Fairley. Ground level, Bartlett's quick for a big man. Gets it to Lambert, couldn't quite get the handball off. Fairley under pressure for North Melbourne back. Great mark by Sean Hart. Might make that Chris Scott. And that's an indication why he's a Norwich rising star. Kicks up towards Merritt, looking for the free kick, and Roger gets it. Well, he's built a tour already. 96 games of league football. There was some talk maybe he'll just play the games up here in the Gabba because of the sunshine. But if he play as well as this, Lee, you'd play him every week, wouldn't you?
Is the arthritis in the cold weather in Melbourne, Kevin? Is that what you're intimating?
Well, they suggest that his career has been extended because of the warmth up here.
Well, the way he started this quarter, one would think he's well worth his place.
He's well warmed up. He's not going to quite squeeze it in, or has he? He has.
3 goals to Merritt, 1 to Michael Voss. And the Bears looking good at the moment in this first quarter. Danichenko beaten in the ruck. McRae leaves it for his teammate in Scott. Oh, look at this as they rip it out of the middle. An opportunity existing there for Lappin if he can pick it up. He's under pressure, but he eventually gets it away. That was to his teammate in Trent Bartlett. Inside 50. Hart was there, had it for a moment, but then lost it and is still going. Look at this, Merritt. Another one, Roger. No, you've lost it. Regained it. Lost it again. Gets assistance towards goal. And eventually pushed through for 1 behind. Desperate times there for the North Melbourne defence as Sean Hart went screaming down to help his assistant coach in Roger Merritt. Couldn't finish it off. Schwass.
I think Roger's on yippee beans.
Short. Blakey pops one over the top to Martin. Mickey has a look downfield. Are you going to go on one of those famous runs? Maybe start something here? No, we'll just give it across to Dean Laidley. He floats it up the centre wing, and that's 4 hand passes. Now the kick, and they've got it up towards their 50. Rock was there, unable to take it cleanly. Hughes there with him. It's out of bounds in front of the Bears Social Club. They're quite happy at the moment to see their side leading. 29 plays 3 in this first term here at the Gabba. Throw in again. Blakey doing the ruck work on that occasion. Trying to get it out was Archer. Now Danichenko, a hurried left foot kick going across the face of goal. The bounces, not a good one initially. And a bit of holding on going on there, but the whistle has sounded. Playing in front was Chris Broome looking for the free kick. He didn't get it. And a warm round of applause for the home side of Brisbane, because they've opened up a very handy 26-point lead at the first change. North Melbourne yet to kick a goal, just 3 behinds on the board, and it has been Roger Merritt who's been in, well, as KB put it, yippee bean form down in the forward line. 3 goals to the 296 game veteran, and he has really led the way. But they've certainly looked the goods, KB, haven't they?
Very impressive, the Brisbane Bears. They're running the ball out of the centre, and Lee made that very good point that Clark with his height is just giving the first touch of the ball.
So there we are, quarter time. It's Brisbane 4-5-29. North Melbourne 3 behinds. I can still think players the calibre of Corey McKernan.
I think the height is a problem. I mean, yeah. Mark Roberts has now been pushed into the ruck for North Melbourne. He's actually performed quite well. I mean, they're going to lose the ruck knockouts. It's a question whether they can get Roberts can get enough of the ground level possessions around midfield to counteract or to the dominance that Clark's had. And he's particularly working well with Scott coming through that. We can see him coming through from the defensive side. It takes a lot of courage to run from defence to attack KB and keep your eyes on the ball. And Scott's doing it.
Well, if there is a breeze, North Melbourne have it in this second quarter here at the Gabba. Roberts is going to be up against young Matthew Clark. Either gets a decisive tap. Now Roberts has pushed that ball forward towards Robert Scott. He overruns it initially. Stevens may get a chance. He does, but then he lost it. Is quick to apply the tackle. A cry of a push in the back from Bear fans as Ashcroft was there as well. but we'll have another bounce. Still virtually in the middle. Clark this time gets his hand to it. Lambert gets flattened, pushed to the ground. Voss trying to defend. Peter Bell is now wearing #1, as we learned from North Melbourne. That kick looks pretty good. And at last they have broken the ice. And it is the man who has been moved into the ruck to do it in Mark Roberts. He has his first. North Melbourne has their first.
Well, that's Roberts is capable of doing that. I mean, he's not going to drop across the half-back line in the conventional ruck position. He'll push forward and try and make Clark basically have to play as a defender. And if the ball falls from him, as it did for that occasion, well, you know, and he's kicked the goal. He's put the pressure back on the Clark, who now has to concern himself a little bit with Roberts' mobility.
Roberts on screen. He's a goal kicker, Lee, and lots of ruckmen, of course, don't kick many goals, and that's one thing he is capable of doing. So it could be a bit of a problem now, but Clark with that height once more wins the tap. Allison sharks it, kicks down towards the half-forward line, looking better for North Melbourne, but a good strong mark by Voss.
He's an exciting player, isn't he?
Instead played under 19s for Richmond. And Voss always very strong overhead. Kicks out wide, finds Clark. Maybe the most promising big man in the competition, Matthew Clark. Lambert pushes off his opponent. Stevens for North Melbourne kicks it high in the air, but it's great to see him back after injuring his knee last year. And Danilchenko from North Melbourne sees the ball over as Lambert also went flying through the air. A bit of a limp there also for Lambert. Broke his leg last year. Clark just getting his hands on the ball. Great courage by Lambert, and he's got wonderful vision to Voss. Back to Buse, caught, can't quite feed it off cleanly to Kennedy, who always kicks the ball long. It's great out of defence, takes the pressure off. Trent Bartlett feeds it to Hart. Back to Ashcroft. They've got the runners. McRae can kick a goal. Long shot, will it bounce across the face, and a boundary throw-in.
Got a guy with McRae's speed. He's kicked the ball from the 50-metre line. Really, I think he's got to back himself to run into the space. There's no one much between him and the goal. They're not going to catch him from behind too often, Craig McRae.
Scotty McIver there, we can see, having left the ground with a blood rule, having a cut on the chin. He'll be okay. This ball bounces towards Roberts. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. Or Lambert ducked his head and almost lost it. Stevens did also, and then could have just about given away a free kick for holding. Schwass defends with a hurried left foot kick. It bounces back towards the centre. Danilchenko got a boot to it, but that was all. They've got the runners going past. Look out, Blakey, you're caught. But he gets the hand pass clear. Now an opportunity for the running Roberts, who's followed play down. He chips inside 50 once again. And the mark has been taken by Anthony Rock. So Roberts has certainly had an influence since coming onto the ball. And Anthony Rock will have a shot. Quiet first term for Rock, but a chance for North Melbourne second. He's kicking from just inside 50. Starts it right and it stays right. Unfortunately for North fans, it's a behind. (1-4) plays 4-5. Kennedy tucked in the back pocket, centering towards half-back, and Michael Voss has a look down in towards the middle. There are loose players everywhere there. This is Lambert. Craig Lambert will kick over the centre. Goes straight down the middle, and that ball holding up a little bit in the breeze. North Melbourne again have a chance to clear. It was Laidley at the back who got it to Wayne Schwass. Schwass is giving away a little bit of ground. He almost gave away the football. Now he does towards Michael Martin. Got to get past Hart. He does with a quick little hurried kick. Rock was there, couldn't claim it on the half volley. The advantage is going to be paid. Blakey has it on centre wing. Bradshaw's on his mark. Blakey comes in towards the middle. North is starting to run. Bell gives it to Allison. He goes towards Danilchenko. Voss is waiting down. Gives it across to Champion. Champion steadies for the Brisbane Bears. And at the outer side is Nigel Lappin. Lappin's caught. Ball spills free. Armstrong's also caught, this time by Ashcroft. Armstrong tries to tap it back in. Is not successful, and we'll have a throw in on that outer side.
Look, by that sneaky player coming off interchange, and Lappin didn't see him coming.
A bit more fired up, the Kangaroos. Taken by Roberts. Quick kick. Freeborn traps it in front of Voss and then takes it over. There's Lappin. Just as Lee said, caught with a guy coming off the interchange bench. It's a big surprise when you don't expect him to be there. At ground level. Scott beaten by Scholl. Quick hands to Stevens. Ground level, Freeborn once more to Armstrong. So North Melbourne starting to win their fair share of the ball now. Bradshaw couldn't take control. Blakey does to Roberts. He's been a lifter. His kick's off target, but he'll get the free kick. So Mark Roberts will be shooting from just inside 50. North Melbourne's only goal after starting the game on the bench, and he has given them all the life in this quarter lead.
He's changed the concept of the game over the last 5 minutes because he's a good player, Mark Roberts. He's got those key positions, 3 or 4 around midfield. He's getting into half forward, and his opponent Matthew Clark, not really defender, playing the ruck, and has not been able to pick him up.
Well, he was once a fridge, just a lunchbox now, as he pops through his second goal.
What does the future hold for you this April, May or June?
North Melbourne hitting back very hard with Roberts turning this game around. He's kicked their 2 goals. He's on the ball, but Clark wins it out of the centre. Allison tries to take it away. Armstrong could have been held. Eventually it comes clear towards McRae. He pumps it long to full forward. McIver! Coming off the bench after the blood rule, and a fine mark, Scotty McIver.
No, Ross Smith is normally the second North Melbourne full back line player. He takes whatever size comes, but I think Scott McIver's just a little bit too tall for him. I think Dennis Baker might have to think about finding a taller defender.
20 metres out, directly in front. Ooh, he's just stuck it home, I think. Yep. McIver gets his first.
The phone, Scott Clayton, just pondering that last goal on his right there. So John Northey. Great start with the Bears winning their first Ansett Cup game. Roberts to Stevens. Is this going to be a quick reply? Longmire. Certainly in midfield, North Melbourne starting to win the ball now.
I think they've got an extra ground level player, Mark Roberts. Yep. He's the extra ground level player. And Anthony Stevens, who we haven't seen much prior to that. Again, the advantage isn't the good long kick. You know, the defenders can't get themselves set for the really quick long kick, and Longmire was able to jump into the mark.
35 plays 22, 13 points the margin. It's a bounce that favours Clark off to Hart, tumbling punt down towards the half forward line. White was beaten for it, couldn't take it cleanly. A chance for Scholl for North Melbourne. Defends going back towards the centre. Over the top it goes. Big Clark is there for the Bears. Pops the hand pass over the top. They've just got it forward of centre. Fairley applies the tackle. It's a good one. And caught was Jason Ackermanis. Special night for Ackermanis. His mum Shona is very ill, and I believe she's here tonight, so we wish her all the best. Anthony Rock marks on centre wing. Kicks to half forward. Waiting down his bell, wearing the number 1 Guernsey, off to Archer, centering kick he wants, Johnny Longmire. Almost got him. He's got support. Smith soccers off the ground, and just getting a hand to it was the defensive work from Brisbane's Daniel Bradshaw, one behind.
Amazing, Ross Smith pushed right up the ground there, and McIver's gone with him as a good forward should, but they're basically 150 metres from their positions, but still got involved in the play.
Kennedy, the Bears, that kicks a poor one, but lands in the arms of Bradshaw, gives it back to Champion. In front of Bartlett. Fairley was his opponent. Archer applies the tackle. Forces it over. Trent Bartlett, just a handful of games last year. Shannon Corcoran barking instructions on the boundary line there. The former Footscray player, young Troy Johnson there on his left. Just a youngster. Voss, not paid. Ashcroft, held. Scholl wants the free kick for North Melbourne. And he's got it. So that's the trick. Grab him by the jumper, put your hand in the air, and there's a very happy Bears supporter. He's into the swing of things.
They're learning.
Scholl. Really struggled last year after being a Victorian interstate representative. Roberts, great grab. Yeah, he could put this in the square if he gets onto it, Roberts.
And he's got Longmire offering the lead. Now he drops back.
So he goes wide because he's got Mighty Mick Martin who's come down from full back.
The goal-kicking sensation.
As Roberts lined up that kick, there was no players at all on the defensive side of the game for North. All the defence had pushed forward to make themselves targets. Mick Martin was one of them that eventually got used.
So Longmire's lead's been ignored. Kicks long. Big pack of players taken here by Peter Bell, and he's popped it through.
Just one kick in it here at the Gabba now, with Bell getting his first, and North coming back strongly in the second quarter with the aid of a slight breeze. This is Lappin defending from half-back, going towards McRae. Schwass is like greased lightning though. Look at him go. Just wobbles a left footer, heading for a little bit of space and trying to gain a few metres on that outer side. It was effective. That's what he wanted. And we'll have a throw in. 10.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And a good contest starting to unfold here. Free kick's being plucked out. It's going to go the way of Clark. The ironical cheers go up from the Bears fans. Hart's got to send that back. And Matthew Clark will take it on centre wing. Kicking towards the 50. McIver's his target. Almost got him. Flicked over the top. North have the numbers here. Fairley gives it away towards Stevens. He tumbles it round his body. And that's a fine diving mark taken by... Is that Anthony Rock at the bottom? It is. Rock. Right in the first term. Coming into it now. Clark backs into the pack. Almost held the ball long enough for a mark to be considered. But now instead we'll have a bounce with Marcus Ashcroft picking himself up from the bottom of the pack. One straight kick the difference. Ball on centre wing.
Peter Bell off with the blood rule again. Plenty of blood flowing up here. It hasn't been well, I suppose it's a normal physical contact game, not overly aggressive, but certainly there's a few bleedings just taking place.
Bears have managed just the one goal so far this quarter. North, on the other hand, have kicked 4 goals too. So Sean Hart is off. And Stevens will try and send North into attack if he can get a sniff at the football. He can't because Scott was in his way. And away goes the Norwich rising star winner, Scott. Drifting it across the centre, up towards the half-forward line. One grab wasn't enough for young Trent Bartlett. Now pressure on the Bears to maintain control of the football. Scott is going to do that, though. Another little left foot chip. This time he's effective, and he finds Lappin outside 50. Lappin's centering kick is not pretty. Undid the good work, and they may pay a fairly hefty price as Rock's kick is high towards Archer. He used the body. Waiting down was Scott. He was ridden into the ground. Archer goes again, gives it to Allison, who's inside 50. Brett Allison's kick looks pretty good to the horse. He lets it go and scores a level here at the Gabba.
5-goal quarter to North Melbourne. There is a breeze going down towards the city end. Roberts looking very determined. Punched on by Ashcroft. Rock paddles the ball along in front. Taken by Laidley. Quick hands back to Rock. Has to get rid of it. Roberts to Fairley. Towards centre half forward. Back of the pack is Voss. Cleans up nicely. Finds Lambert.
Look out.
He's gone. Caught. Run down by Stevens, but he's copped one in the back. No, it's been paid holding the ball. Lambert thought it was his. He jumped up, ready to take it. Stevens kicks quickly into the forward line, looking for Allison. And he's paying him the free kick also for being manhandled. Here's Lambert, and it was a good decision too, because he actually just dropped the ball then, Lee.
Yeah, it could have been a high tackle, but if you don't, basically the rule is if you don't, not an effective kick or handball, it's an automatic free kick when you had a chance.
Free kicks, 14 to North Melbourne, 7 to the Bears.
Allison has kicked 1 goal, just inside 50. He likes it.
Roberts again wins it. Rock could have been held. Play goes on as Schwass wobbles a punt kick towards the centre wing boundary line. It drifts over. North bench look on. David King, who started on the ground in the middle there. And now the throw-in. Clark with a height advantage. Fletcher got one high. And again, the ironical cheers go up from the Bears supporters, perhaps feeling they've got a raw deal. But this is Schwass. Does it well to Smith. Smith pops one to Armstrong. He's got players running past and uses them. It's Scholl. Scholl looks down towards the right half forward flank. That was better play. And Glenn Freeborn marks. Still well outside 50. Goes for the centering kick just inside. Roberts is in that pack of players. Off the ground it goes for one behind. And Brett Allison sees it sail through for a point. Margin is now 7 points. 6-6 plays 5-5.
We haven't mentioned, but I think the North Melbourne defence has basically taken over Wayne Schwass and plays across the half-back line there, and the Bears' scoring is dried up.
Now what's the rat done? Andrew Hughes. Gone over the line, and so we're going to come to that line for a bounce. So a chance, a real chance now for North Melbourne. You wouldn't want to drop $10 in that lot, would you? Bears may get out of it. Hughes gets a wobbly kick, doesn't gather a great deal of distance. There's a tackle high. It's got to be a Bears free kick. Looks like Ackermanis on the last line of defence. Gives it across to Voss. Michael Voss from the back pocket drifts it up towards Scott. Couldn't take it cleanly. Loses it to Anthony Rock, who's had a good quarter, and he passes to Roberts, who marks 52 metres out. 2 goals to Mark Roberts, 2 goals to Brett Allison, all of which have been kicked in this term. Fine comeback by North Melbourne. 52 metres out. The drop punt's on its way. He starts it right, and it finishes way right for behind.
Not too many goals kicked for him. Set shots outside 50. A lot of long behinds.
King ready to come back on for North Melbourne. Voss kicks long. Clark's his target. Up before acceptances. At ground level, young Troy Johnson. Newcomer to the Bears. Down towards McIver. Is it punched away? At ground level, they've been terrific across half-back. North Melbourne in the second term. Lately, they've had runners. Picked up by Smith. Back to Roberts. Just been sensational in the second term to Longmire. Thought he might have been able to make a bit more ground on the ball. Does well to handball it back. Rock has also been a tremendous player in the second term. Voss at ground level for the Bears. Has to feed it off. From Ackermanis. Quick kick. Scott in front. Big punch from behind by Swash. Can they keep the ball in? Anthony Simpson, a newcomer also, 37 for North Melbourne. And we've got a ball up on centre wing. North Melbourne by 8 points. 5 minutes to go in this second term. It's been a 6-goal quarter to the Kangaroos. Johnson to Lappin. Half forward line. He's got Kennedy on the lead. Down from half back. Like that Voss. Couldn't take it, but he was held. Western Ferris last year for the Bears. Johnny Northey trait. Long kick into the forward line. In front. McIver. Not on the second grab. Over the top, McIver once more. Scott's there as well. Ross Smith to Stevens. So the North defence working overtime. Chance for Lappin. Dick Foss. Caught. King being dispossessed. He's got support from Archer. Back to Dick Foss. Clark once more wants to feed it off. Does well. Put his teammate under fierce pressure there, and Fletcher. Swash does well. Casual takes a bounce. Finds a loose player in Allison. Right on 50. Kick 2. He's got a loose player wide in King. So North Melbourne looking the goods in this second term after a very, very poor opening quarter.
I think the Bears have to try and do something across half forward. The North Melbourne half back line is dominating that part of the ground. All the loose balls that are going to ground across there, North are bringing it out, and that rebound is a big part of why North have worked their way back into the lead.
King from just inside 50. Distance is there, but not the accuracy.
.44 plays 35. With under 3.5 remaining. And every goal but one having been scored at this end of the ground. It certainly is quite a distinct advantage. Well, that's a poor kick. Blakey's going to have a shot. Bit of disappointment there for Jason Ackermanis. There's a long bomb. What a goal from Wayne Schwartz.
North Melbourne by 15 points. Clark still dominating the ruck. And a great mark by Watt. Got tremendous ability, White. Signed on for another 3 years to the Bears. So it's one for the high flyers. Off hands and through for 1 point.
He needs to do a bit more. That's White's problem. What he does look always looks very good, but he just doesn't do that average common stuff often enough, and that's what you need to do as well.
.50 plays 36. North Melbourne in control. Swash goes very, very short. And Rossi Smith, tough as nails. McMartin wants to go over the top, draws the opponent to Blakey. He's going to be caught by McRae. Back to Scholl. Kept the ball in. That was great play to Geister, but the kick's a poor one. A good mark by Andrew Buse.
Just on the defensive side of centre. Buse goes back towards half forward. Well, they've got the players waiting down. Michael Voss does the roving work. Kicks Slews off the side of the boot and finishes in the left forward pocket and out of bounds. So a throw-in to take place. There's Voss, number 3. Looks as though he's had a pretty good summer. And a very, very exciting player. As KB said, club champion. Had a top 10 finish in the Brownlow last year. Fairly could have almost given a nudge to White. He played for White, but didn't get it. Johnson under pressure. Voss gives the hand pass away. Buse from 46 metres. The Rat may kick a goal. He has. How do you like that, he says. So they close the gap.
Well, it was an understatement to say the Bears need that. The game has completely gone against them for the last 15 or 20 minutes, so that might just give them a little bit of hope. And I see that Lambert's been interchanged. I think really the Bears' midfield needs to lift. They really have struggled, and North have got the sense in that part of the ground.
We see Craig Lambert with the Jimmy Durante there with a bit of plaster on it. Clark bumps the ball 30 metres. McIver. Ackermanis, quick hands. Gave it across to Geister. Smith. for North Melbourne. Strong out of defence. Couldn't take the mark with Scott at ground level. Scott of North Melbourne this time. And we've got a ball up. Right on the edge of the centre square.
Poor filly Marcus Ashcroft has just been told to go and play with Anthony Rock and try and stabilise that position.
Rock's had 8 possessions. Blakey kicks up towards the half-forward line. Playing in front here is young Chapman. He's come off the interchange bench. Kick off the ground. Ladley gets it across there to Freeborn. Stevens got a chance to give it back to Rock. Longmire's his target champion. Pushes back. Does well. Just can't handle the ball. Now he can. Over the top to Clark. Pretty warm conditions. And great diving mark by Fletcher. Leading possession winner in the league last year. Finds champions. Come all the way down from the back pocket. 75 metres out from goals. So it's inside 50 as Merritt goes up. But there goes the siren to end a very interesting first half with North Melbourne dominating the second term, kicking 7 goals to 2. So at half-time, 7-8-50, playing Brisbane 6-6-42 with Roberts, I think, the catalyst for that comeback for North Melbourne in that second term.
Yes, their main contributors, as you mentioned, Mark Roberts, he booted 2 very early on, KB. Brett Allison booted 2, and there were singles to John Longmire and Peter Bell and Wayne Schwass. So North at the moment holding sway in a close one here at the Gabba. It is 7-8, plays 6-6. He goes in again, Anthony Stevens. They'll be rapt to see him back in the thick of things. And another bounce. Bears will be keen to get a couple early on. Roberts has an airy. No one able to get it out cleanly with Big Kennedy over the top. So we'll go through the same procedure once again. Clark drifts over the top. Blakey wearing 12. Craig McRae, there's Rookie of the Year, wearing number 4. Simpson eventually does get it out. North tumble it down towards half-forward, but a push has gone against Glenn Archer, who wasn't too happy with the decision, but that's the way, and he's now given away 50. So it's going to bring Richard Champion almost down to the 50. And with the breeze at his back, with Merritt and McIver in the forward line. Oh dear. I was going to say they could maybe do something. Well, Kennedy's going to get a chance because he's going to get a free kick for being legged, I think.
Glenn Archer is all foul of Dennis Payne. He's disciplined, 50-metre penalty and off the ground. It's a pretty standard rule in the North Melbourne team.
And there he goes, sprinting away to the sidelines. That big kick in towards full forward. Laidley waiting down in the pocket will be first hurt for North Melbourne. Just gets his kick in time. Dean Laidley towards half-back. Rock couldn't take the mark. Now the Bears have a chance through Fletcher. Dick Foss does good work as Fletcher's kick is short towards Scott. He picked it up beautifully, Chris Scott. He fires out the pass to McIver. That's excellent football from the youngster. Exciting to watch, Lee.
I think, yeah, but even prior to that, Danny Dick Foss, yeah, I mean, he's looked a very solid player. I mean, he's just got a bit of coolness about him. We said before, 25-year-old playing his first season of AFL senior football, but he times his punches well. When he gets the ball at ground level, he's got sort of coolness to think his way through the situations, and he basically set up the first disposal, which is finished with McIver.
McIver for his second. He kicked 1 in the second quarter from 46 metres. It's a good-looking drop punt. It's a goal.
So critical after half-time, the goal.
North Melbourne by 2 points. Clark down to McRae, but Roberts, who's been just sensational since he came off the interchange bench in that second turn. Peter Bell, he's on. He's got the headgear on, all strapped up. Good played by Ashcroft, but taken away by Allison. Runs smack bang into Voss. 35 metres out from North Melbourne's goal. There's Peter Bell, all rugged up. Looks like one of those rugby players from New Zealand with his ears bitten off.
The innovation to stop players bleeding is remarkable in modern football, isn't it?
Just keep putting tape around. There's Bell once more. Fossick's the ball out. Clark's caught for the Bears. Armstrong gets across the Freeborn. Quick hands to Rock. Quick snap by Mark Stevens, and he's kicked it.
Yes, he was okay. He's got his first. And a handy reply by North Melbourne to maintain an 8-point lead. 48 plays 56. There's Mark Robertson picture giving away a height advantage to Clark, but he contests pretty well. Voss couldn't quite get there. Stevens burrows in at the bottom of the pack. Armstrong over the top as well. Lappin is there also. Clark again up high. Moves very gracefully, the big man. Rock just taps it on. That's cleverly done. Laidley flicks it out. Here's a danger, but Lambert is there. Gives it across to Hart. Hart has a look up in towards the pocket. Oh, here's trouble. And what a way to finish it off. Troy Johnson goals.
Troy Johnson from South Fremantle, just getting a taste of it with the Brisbane Bears. Voss got the tap. Hart punches the ball forward, still inside the centre square. Swash, who's been just outstanding, across to Fairley. Solid defender. Down towards the half-forward line for North Melbourne. The Bears, and we see a free kick to Lappin across half-back. Finds Ashcroft, rockets the ball to McRae. He's got support from Chapman. Back to Ashcroft, to Lambert. So the runners for the Bears. Lambert decides to kick long. Kennedy was the target. Punched away by Freeborn. Gave away inches. Did well. So North Melbourne trying to come forward, but Lappin read it well across half-back. Now they can raffle it here. He goes wide, transfers it to Danny Dickfoss. Goes on the left boot, so he's got Voss out wide. Just been outstanding also, Voss, and there's a terrific mark to Fletcher. And an equally good mark here by McIver. Bounces up like the Indian rubber man. But he's disappointed with the kick. It's a shocker. He was a pinch hitter last year on the four-line too, Scotty McIver, and well, he's a veteran, but he's playing darn good footy.
Very good overhead. I mean, he's got reasonable size, but even for that, he's very good above his head in terms of marks the ball strong.
Strong mark taken by Kennedy. Short hair, all the vogue here at the Brisbane boys.
I've had it for years.
Yes, we've noticed. But Kennedy is a prodigious kicker too, KB. And, 65 out, but he'll put this deep into the attacking zone. Look at that drop punt. That is a booming kick. That's it behind. (8-7) plays 8-8. A thriller here at the Gabba. Bell comes towards half-back. He wanted Simpson, but the youngster was under a lot of pressure. Lappin now may make him pay as he gives it to Buse. The Rat kicks it high. Plenty of blue and white Guernseys there. Waiting down was Freeborn. Look out, here's Hart to goal! Yes!
Bears by 5 points. Stevens now guarding Lambert, the centre bounce. Bell couldn't take it. Freeborn does for North Melbourne. Good kick to the half-forward line. And once more, the Dipper dominating out there on the wing tonight.
You will notice, Sandy, that because of it's being played in Brisbane, you're allowed 6 interchange.
Yep.
When people see so many people running up and down, I think they wonder what that's all about.
Well,
it's only local to this to Brisbane in the Ansett Cup.
But a very sensible idea. The Bears at the moment by 5 points. Glenn Freeborn wearing 17, sees it over the line. There's Peter Bell with an interesting piece of headgear. Sean Hart has 1 goal today. Got to throw in on the outer side. Bears having the use of the breeze. They were down by 8 points at half-time. They've regained the lead. But I think we're going to be in for a thrilling final term here, KB.
Yes, because North Melbourne will be kicking with the breeze in the final term. So just judging by that first half, I would say the Bears would have to be maybe 4, maybe 5 goals up.
Yep. Still on the outer side, and the Bell at the bottom. Bartlett, Lambert. Craig Lambert picks himself up. Stevens is there also.
He's a great competitor, Craig Lambert. Had great enjoyment coaching him at Richmond. He's just fantastic the way that he wants to tackle the ball all the time.
Bell gets a short kick, and that's a strong mark taken by Archer. We'll come back to Glenn Archer. He kicks with a drop punt up towards full forward, and a good mark just plucked off the top by Mark Stevens, who kicked a goal earlier in this quarter. A chance for his second now, and a chance for North Melbourne to regain the lead.
I think he just read the ball better, really. I mean, all the scoring's down to this end, but that kick carried, I don't know whether the wind's affecting the kicking that much. It's certainly their scoring to the end favoured by the wind, but certainly that ball carried.
30 metres out. Stevens makes no mistake. His second, and North regain the lead.
In the summer and played his first game last week in the reserves, Adrian Fletcher. So just easing him into the game tonight, John Northey. And there he is, at the bottom of the pack. And bang, smack, bang. His two opponents.
Very hard at the bottom of the pack, Fletcher, and also a very good mark for a relatively small player. Good overhead.
Started his career at Geelong and went to St Kilda before surprisingly let go after playing every game with them and including some finals. Runner-up in their best and fairest here last year. Still inside the centre square, North by a point.
Had a great year too, didn't he? Led the disposals in the competition, Adrian Fletcher, last year, averaging something like 27, so wonderful season.
Free kick this time to Armstrong. So Stevens has been a winner on the forward line. With 2 goals, we see Armstrong just slung to the ground. Chapman have to guard him closely as we see Armstrong kicks the ball down, arches his target. That's a beautifully weighted kick on the edge of the centre square. Kicks long, Armstrong there, Chapman across the face of goals.
Whoops.
It's a poor kick for someone who won Sun Kick. Just puts the ball straight over the line on the full. Stevens short to Swash. 19 possessions to Wayne Swash. Armstrong, I think, wanted to go. I would have nearly called play on then, Lee.
Yes, I thought he was probably off. Got the benefit of the doubt from the umpire.
Goes for the big torp. Pretty crowded forward line. Peter Bell at ground level. Taken here by Kennedy. Couldn't take it. Champion. Quick hands. Lappin. Cool as a cucumber. Across to Danny Dickboss. Got poised to push the ball further on here to Hart. Puts the ball wide and handsome. Free kick to North Melbourne.
Pretty crowded forward line, you said. There was, at the time, there was no one on the other side of centre. And as I speak, there's only a couple now. So certainly very, very crowded. It was Lambert who floated that wide. Lappin a chance, but no, the whistle has sounded. And Laidley's going to take the free kick.
It's going, Sam. It's a wrestling pack of players. There's about 30 of the players are all in one pack chasing the ball up and down the ground. They're not playing positions a great deal.
Voss was the flyer, unable to complete the mark. Archer was in the thick of things, couldn't take it. Socket off the ground. This could result in a goal if Roberts can get there. He can't. He sees it go over the line for one behind. 9-9 plays 9-7. North holding their lead. Bears kicking with the breeze. And we've got just 9 minutes left in this third quarter, so really they have not been able to take advantage of it so far in the quarter. But full credit to North Melbourne as Clark marks in the back pocket. Kicks around the Social Club flank. And this time, free kick going the way of Fletcher. Up towards McIver on centre wing. Had to try and beat a couple, couldn't do so. But they've got the players waiting down. And the long kick comes in towards half forward. It came from Troy Johnson. And the mark is going to be paid. Big Rog. And really, Mickey Martin not disputing it.
One thing we find, Mickey Martin plays 3 or 4 metres in front quite regularly. It's the way he plays his full-back style, which probably is good percentage play, but as the Bears were able to do, then if they can kick the ball long and over his head, it always gives the full forward a chance just to get him caught under the ball, and we've seen this happen on a couple of occasions tonight.
So only had 4 kicks for 3 goals, Roger Merritt, and he keeps that conversion rate pretty good. He's got another one.
I think also, Lee, that the ball's probably carrying just a little bit further than what Mick Martin thinks it's going to by playing that 3 or 4 metres in front, and he's just being caught out by Roger Merritt. Punched away by the North defence. Hart. Oh, Rock went in hard. Bang, crash.
He came off second best, I think, Anthony Rock, too.
Armstrong inside the centre square for North Melbourne. It's a long bomb.
He's out.
Down towards Mark Stevens, taken away by Chapman. So the Bears out of defence. Rock in trouble at centre half forward. They're calling for something. We see McRae picks up for the Bears. Down towards Merritt. Martin wins out on this occasion. Takes that customary bounce. 2 against 1. Good strong mark.
Sorry, KB, I'm just wondering if they were going to have to hold this game up, because Rock is still down. He's got a number of trainers all around him as King has the football now.
Yeah, Simpson got it to him, and we see Armstrong with a long kick, but the umpire has held it up, Sandy.
Yeah, now the stretcher has been called for. It is out now. But that was a pretty fierce clash, Lee.
Yes, it was. I think I thought he went a little bit harder than his opponent. I thought he really went at it. Hart didn't quite go at it quite as hard, or maybe it's being unfair to him. Both players went at it, and Rock came off a little bit worse for wear by the look of it. And of course, the rule is that the umpires will stop the ball when they stop the play once the stretch is on the ground. Yeah. When the players stop, they won't actually stop the play if it's in full motion. And that's eventually what's happened here.
Goes on. King has the football and he kicks down towards Stevens, unable to take the mark. The Bears now under pressure. That's young Troy Johnson again, gets it away to Marcus Ashcroft, and Ashcroft goes to the outer side, getting them out of trouble. Well, they dearly love a couple of quick goals just to extend that lead. They've got Shannon Corcoran on the ground now as well. This is Lappin on the outer side. He's 60 metres out. He goes with a worm burner pass, but it's not well directed. Schwass does the tidying up, but they're not out of it yet. The handball slid across the ground. Scholl goes in late, and I think may have gone with the ball over on the full. He's taken it out on the full, so the Bears' Scott will get a shot in front of the scoreboard. Very tight angle for this young player. Christopher Scott, fine young man and a fine young footballer. The Norwich Rising Star winner, and of course that award will be on again this year for all the young players coming into the game. It's a wonderful award. Scott's kick looks pretty good, you know. It is, but it's only behind.
They weren't too enthusiastic behind the goals then, Sandy.
10-8. Plays 9-9, 5 points the margin.
So North Melbourne, with Stevens bringing the ball, transferring it from the member side to the outer side of the ground. White gets there in front of Martin, gives it off to Clark. Nearly volleyball on that time by Hughes, but a good effort here by Scott. Got a kind bounce. Now Archer's his target, just couldn't go back with the fly of the ball, did well to get it to ground level. Ashcroft caught. And the free kick goes to Allison. He's booted 2 goals. That's one of the longest run-ups in league football when he's having a set shot. Right on 50. It's a beautiful looking kick off the boot, and he's drilled it.
1 point the margin, favouring the Kangaroos here at the Gabba. Roberts prepares himself to do the ruck work up against Clark. You can see there. Clark just floats over the top. But let's see who's going to win it out of the middle. No one on this occasion. They all separate. With Matty Armstrong at the bottom of the pack, wearing 14. From the bounce, it's Wayne Schwass who ambles away to Smith, pokes a handball out in front. Look at the pickup of Darryl White. He can do some exquisite things, but then he's lost the football. So quite enigmatic in a way as Archer propels it along in front. Oh, then gave away the deft hand pass. North Melbourne starting to look dangerous. That one wobbles towards the goal line, and it's eventually taken over for one behind, conceded by Danny Dickfoss. Now, injury news, Dipper?
Yes, Andy. Anthony Rock is still in the rooms. He is suffering from concussion and won't take part again in this game.
Well, let's hope that it is only concussion and he's going to be okay. Darryl White. A little left foot chip finds Sean Hart across the half back line. Now, they've got Lappin loose on centre wing. He's got a bit of space and he's got a bit of time. And he shows his skills, too, with a little turn. And then drills a pass to Lambert, who's still outside 50. A floater in towards McRae. That's going to make it difficult for him. He gets boot to ball beautifully and very quickly in towards Merritt. It's in the square. No one able to pick it up. Merritt applies the pressure. Laidley sees it over the line. Scott looks a little frustrated. So a throw in the right forward pocket. We've got under 4 minutes remaining in this third quarter. And Brisbane trail by a couple of points at the moment. Still trailing by a couple of points. No one can get an effective kick away. And now North will kick clear. Back towards the half-back line. Dickfoss leads in the race for the ball. He sees it over. He may be a little cramped as well. And we'll have a throw. Fairley doing the ruck work for North, the Williamstown fisherman on that occasion. Armstrong towards Archer. Got a hand to it, but that was all. Bell charges in with Archer and does the shepherding work. Marcus Ashcroft comes over the top and another throw. In fact, a free kick. He's going to go to Marcus Ashcroft against Glenn Archer. Ashcroft towards half forward. Starcevic on the ground, got a hand to it. Schwass almost held. He didn't have the football. It's taken over. We'll have another throw.
And umpiring's a game of inches too. The umpire put his whistle to his mouth, but just didn't quite think he was held long enough. It's all a game of instinct whether you're umpiring or playing, isn't it?
Throw in again. Danilchenko doing it. Lambert does the roving work, and he does it pretty well too. Hooks that left foot round in towards full forward.
Again, the ball just got the kick. It was a quick kick forward by Lambert, who probably saw McIver dropping to that side, hooked the kick around and just gave his teammate the chance to mark it under a little bit of pressure, but not so much pressure that Scholl, who has now shifted on to McIver, who's a better height matchup, but he is a dangerous player when the ball's floating in the air, and he's got that yard break as he did on that occasion.
Kicked one in the second quarter and one so far in this third. So this for number 3 and this for the Bears to regain the lead. They're down by 2 points at the moment. They now lead by 4 points. 3 goals to McIver.
Starting to really have an influence on the game. 18 possessions, 13 handballs, 5 kicks. He's got a free kick at the centre bounce. Too many in the square. So Clark quickly down into the forward line. At the back of the pack is Schwass. Been absolutely outstanding, best player on the ground for mine. And he was pushed after he kicked the ball. So he gets a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, 50.
So it brings him The edge of the centre square finds Armstrong. He's had 13 possessions as well. It's one for the high flyers. Lappin couldn't take it for the Bears. Bell at ground level, beaten by Ashcroft. Does well to feed the ball out. Chance for Stevens. So North Melbourne going backwards at the moment. King went across the ground, picked up by Hart, gives it across to Voss. Shades of Barishnikov there as he dances out of the pack. Gets it down to Scott. Lappin screaming for the ball on centre wing. Just under a minute and a half. The Bears want to go forward. He's been caught. Lambert, make that. Fletcher to Starcevic. Hard up on the boundary line. He's off target. So the Bears by 5 points. Laidley to bring it back into play. Starcevic has spent most of the game on the interchange bench. Down to Danilchenko. It's usually a raking left foot kick. He's gone for the long bomb. Stevens is his target. He's done well. He's kicked 2 goals this quarter. He's got Roberts also running to the forward line. This is a poor kick. It favours Champion. Not paid. Picked up by Groom. Quick snap. This can bounce through. It has. Listen to the boos. No, it's been touched off the boot. Well, I thought Champion should have been paid the mark.
Yes, I think he would have been probably 90% of occasions, but the umpire chose that he hadn't held it long enough.
So McRae on half back. Just goes short to Scott. So the Bears keeping possession in the dying seconds of this third term.
Scott's kick up over centre wing. The diving Hart is unable to complete the mark. Seconds ticking away inside the last 25 for this third quarter. The Bears have a 4-point lead. And maybe enough time to whip it down to the forward line. Then again, so too have the Roos. Fletcher, a short kick, didn't travel the required distance. And McRae caught one high. The umpire didn't see that one either. Troy Johnson goes down towards full forward. Martin defends to Scholl. Scholl comes over the top towards Freeborn. He's caught. Ball spills free and eventually taken over the line. There'll be a throw-in, and that will be it, I think, for the quarter. Craig Lambert picks himself up and thought maybe he could have got a free kick for a push. It wasn't to be. From the throw-in, Clark, Danilchenko, but there it is as Anthony Stevens gets his kick. And these Queenslanders are learning what footy's all about as the boos go up. But it is three-quarter time. There's a 4-point margin, and we're set for a big last quarter. Final quarter. And just before we do, Anthony Rock, of course, is taking no further part in this game, and if you're wondering why not, Lee, this is it.
I think that probably proves the back of your head is harder than the front, because the back of Sean Hart's head, I think it was, has probably hit Rock in the face, and yes, he probably won't be back.
No, well, the word is that he has concussion, so let's hope he's going to be okay. Who's going to go into the semi-finals? Is it going to be the Bears or North Melbourne? Roberts was moved into the ruck, and it's had a great effect, but he's beaten on this occasion by Clark. The first goal is going to be important. Smothered off the boot here. Taken away by Roberts with a hurried left foot kick down towards half forward. Diving mark is not going to be paid. Bell goes steaming through and he gives it away to Armstrong. The low left footer goes in towards the left forward pocket. Marcus Ashcroft goes dashing in and concedes a behind.
Could be good news for North. Looks like from this distance that Anthony Rock is at least in the dugout now.
Well, that is good news. 3 points now at the margin as Chapman prepares to come back in. He's being told, get on with it, get on with it. Time's ticking away. Champion has the football. In front of this very effective new scoreboard here at the Gabba. All the information those patrons could wish for. Here's Andrew Hughes tucking it under his arm and drifting up towards half forward. Hart trying to do the work from behind. Blakey is not effective, and John Blakey takes it away with a hand pass to Dean Laidley. Laidley gets his kick in time towards centre wing. The mark was dropped by Adam Simpson. He's going to need help. He gets it in the form of King and Scott, and away they go. Back to Robert Scott. It comes from Mark Stevens. It drops short, however, and the Bears' defence hold firm. Christopher Scott takes it on the half-back flank, comes away with one bounce. Scott looks towards centre wing. He's got Voss. He's got a couple of players there. Now Voss takes it from Hart. He's a very talented youngster. Voss has kicked. McIver! Yes! One of the marks of the Ansett Cup.
Must be the air up in Brisbane. Reminds of Sean Smith last year. I mean, that really is a spectacular mark.
That lady might be in the crowd who took the photograph of Sean Smith. She might grab that mark as well.
It's fantastic when a player can jump like that and balance. I mean, just that balance in the air to hold your position, waiting for the ball to come into your hands as McIver did then. It's a fantastic skill.
Standing ovation too then for Scotty McIver from this football-loving crowd. Let's see if he can finish it off with his 4th goal for the night. Kicked 1 in the 2nd, kicked 2 in the 3rd term, and he's just landed on terra firma to try and kick his 4th. The left foot, drop pump, starts left, stays left, 1 behind. Bit of an anticlimax, that KB.
It was a great mark. It was a great mark, and you can see here where he got the ride, and Roger Merritt doing the clapping.
Because when you jump like that, you have to come down, don't you? And you've got to hope you land right.
Swash kicks out towards the half-back flank. Punched on at ground level by Archer. Follows up with a kick off the ground. Bit of Pele with Richard Champion. Throw in on centre wing position. The Bears by 4 points. You see Anthony Rock there after being carried off, concussed. He's on his feet, and he might even be back in the action. Lambert with those quick hands, great vision to Buse. Snap around the body. Champion was caught under the ball. Fletcher just burrows his way through, gets it out in front of Starcevic, wanted to bounce, couldn't get it, then taps it back to Hart. They've got some numbers. Voss, quick kick inside 50, plus
Down the ground.
free kick after being knocked to the ground after kicking the ball. So it's been grabbed here by McIver. It plays on quickly, goes short and finds McRae, who drops a sitter. Falls on top of the ball. Comes back to Lappin, he's on 50 to Lambert. And he's been paid a free kick for too high of a tackle. So Lambert, right on 50. Playing the ball, you can see where Scott just fell straight on top of Lambert there, Lee.
I'd say the safest place is on the bottom of the pack, because all people can do is fall on you. They're not going to hurt you too much, and you might even get a free kick. And Lambert actually put that into practice.
Kennedy takes the short pass. Now he's virtually still on 50, so they didn't gain in distance, but he can kick the ball. Just going to hold up right on the goal line. That might have just cleared the pack. It has.
So the chant goes up for the Brisbane Bears again. They move out to a 10-point lead now, kicking into this slight breeze and showing a fierce determination in this final quarter. Roberts gets a belt from the square as we start proceedings again. McRae's away on the outer side, nowhere to go. So he just gets boot the ball and wobbles it to the safety of the boundary line on the outer wing.
Principal Robert Walls often used to say that you could not possibly have the same 3 players playing midfield for the whole game up in Brisbane, just with the slightly warmer conditions. And I think they've changed Voss, Scott, Lambert, Ashcroft, Fletcher, Hart, McRae all through the midfield. Might just pay dividends in this last bit of the game.
There was Voss down towards the right half forward flank region. His target there was young Troy Johnson, who kicked a goal in the 3rd quarter. Another throw in front of the Bears Social Club. They'll be pretty happy in there at the moment, with the side leading by 10 points. The winners of this game, of course, to meet Carlton in a semi-final. The losers go to Lamington to play Collingwood in a practice match. Ashcroft picks himself up from the bottom of the pack, hands it over to his teammate, and Richard Champion gives it to Buse, then back to Champion again. Kicks up towards centre wing. The mark's going to be paid to Clark.
passes to McRae. Well, it's another sitter he's dropped. A couple in as many minutes. Blakey's hand pass goes astray, straight to Clark. Big man under pressure. I think he might have thrown it out. In fact, he did set the eye, but he didn't like the decision. It's gone against the Bears. Roberts will take it. Defensive side of centre. To send North Melbourne deep into the attacking zone towards 50, but he's put it straight down the throat of Richard Champion.
He goes short, finds Lappin. Half-back flank. Members side. Voss. Starcevic is the tall option down there. Fletcher, the smaller of the two. Swash applies the pressure and the ball trickles over for a boundary throw-in. Craig Starcevic given the boot by Lee Matthews up here to Brisbane.
Part of the Nathan Buckley swap.
You couldn't help yourself, KB, could you?
And we've got a ball up.
And I think one has to say Nathan Buckley has been a fair swap for Craig Starcevic and Troy Luton, as it's turned out.
Just testing you, Lou, that's all. Roberts this time beats Clark. Taken by young Johnson. Chance for, we see Blakey across half-back to Smith. Now he kicks to space, running onto the ball is young Stevens. Needs a good bounce now, gets it on 50. Hooks the ball back. It was a good attempt. He actually even tried to centre it, but he just couldn't quite get it back. He was running at such a pace towards the boundary line. But points are important because Brisbane lead 82-73 as Lappin goes short to Champion. Seems to be the tactic these days. Kick very short to the full-back into the back pocket, and then transferred back to the other side of the ground. And hopefully Fletcher will be there, and he is. I think that's a training drill, that one, Lee?
Well, I think very few sides are wanting to kick the ball in long from full-back. You want to try and maintain possession by kicking it short, but actually kicking it to a lone player, lone teammate.
Hughes with a quick kick. It would drive Tom Hafey mad, all the short passing out from full-back. He likes to see the full-back kick at about 75 metres.
Still plenty of time for North to get up in this game. Some 13.5 minutes left, and it's Wayne Schwass zigzagging his way on the outer side, sending them in towards 50, towards half-forward. A couple of Bears spoiled each other on that occasion, and it may prove costly. The chip is to King. King's away, 30 metres out. The handball into the square. It's only got a set, and it will result in a goal to Allison. 4 goals to Brett Allison, and we've got a 3-point ball game as Roberts prepares to do the battle in the ruck with Clark again. It's 82 plays 79. The Bears lead. Clark the height advantage. It's not a good bounce, but Clark almost gets it out of the middle. Armstrong does eventually to Schwass. He looks wide. He wants someone running down that flank. Eventually he gets him in the form of David King, who's pretty quick. Short centering chip is effective. Suddenly the wheel has turned, and it is North Melbourne. This is Stevens. Goes long in towards full forward. Arches the flyer. There's been a whistle. There's been a whistle, and there's a free kick going to go the way of Allison. Allison has already kicked 4. And North Melbourne could hit the front. This to become the leading goal kicker on the ground for the night. He's going to have to bend this back with a check side. The old banana looks pretty good. He's got it.
His goal kicking, 2 goals in the second term, 1 in the third and 2 in this final quarter. And there's John Northey just showing his disgust at the Kangaroos hitting back and hitting the front. Clark this time decides to go for the big punch. Well read by Scholl. Kick's been smothered. Champion just couldn't quite handle it. Clark once more bundled off the ball, then does well to knock it out. Ball up still inside the centre square. Bear players there. Trent Bartlett and Shannon Corcoran. Bradshaw just warming up. Might be needed for the action. Archer on the edge of the centre square. Kick down towards Allison. He's booted 5. Ashcroft wins this contest. Goes short. Finds Hart. Feed the ball off to Fletcher. The Bears in control. Down towards Starcevic. Blakey to Swash, being best player on the ground for mine. Gets it back towards the boundary line. Ground level. This is good play by young Simpson. Dick Foss couldn't take it this time. Bundled off the ball there, looked like Chapman. Also, Champion might have got a push in the back. Young Troy Johnson barrels in after the ball for the Bears. And a baller.
It's a hot ball at ground level now.
Yep.
They're really having a go and get it at ground level. Wayne Schwartz has been pushed up onto a wing when the game really has to be won in this final quarter. He's been good at it in the back line. Now he's up in the midfield. Give him drive from that position.
So the Kangaroos forward line. Oh, here's a chance. Quick snap by Robert Scott.
Scott gets his first goal for the night, and North shoot clear by 9 points. Clark belts it out of the middle. The Bears are going to need the next one. They leave a passage to surge it down towards the 50. Simpson is there for North. They pounce upon him. Voss also is in the thick of things. The umpire lets play go on. Clark picks it up, then is promptly tackled and dropped it. McIver gets a hurried high kick, probably going 15 metres, just inside 50. Smith affects the spoil. Schwass comes storming out, gets held by the jumper, loses the football. Champion with a left foot cook inside 50 once again. Laidley drops back, takes the timely mark and steadies it down to Fairley. Fairley kicks to the half-back flank, and now an opportunity for King. He goes long, inside 50, Archer! Got the ride, couldn't complete the mark. Ashcroft heads to the boundary line, is taken over. And a throw-in front of the scoreboard here at the Gabba that shows North Melbourne in front. 13-13-91. Brisbane a 12-10-82, but still anyone's game with some 10 minutes remaining.
Brisbane's only won 3 games in the Ansett Cup. They've all been on their home turf here. You see the ball just forced through by Archer for 1 point. North Melbourne a little bit concerned about playing up here, Lee, because they felt that maybe they deserved the game in Melbourne with Brisbane playing up here their first game against the Cats.
I think the one thing we know about the Ansett Cup, the game will be played wherever the AFL think it's best for crowds and football.
Starcevic may have been held. He's got the free kick. He's got plenty of loose players. They can raffle it. Fletcher gets support there from Lappin. Goes on to the left boot. Looking for Roger the Dodger. He's got one in the back. He's a pass master, just tumbling forward beautifully. Goes short. Great vision for Lappin. Should kick a goal for the Bears. Disappointingly, just a point. Wasted opportunity that time. Was terrific play by Merritt. Got back off the mark quickly and set it up. Laidley favours the member side. Puts his teammate under a lot of pressure. Champion did well at ground level. Lappin, can he make amends? No. Chipping in is Stevens. Kicks to space. Running onto the ball is Archer. Does well. Beats the tackle. Strong play by Archer. Roberts runs through the ground. Can he kick a goal? Fantastic play, Mark Roberts.
Big ask now for the Bears. Roberts with 3 goals. Been a remarkable turnaround since he went onto the ball up against Clark. Clark wins it, pushes it wide. Kennedy unable to take it cleanly. It's North Melbourne again through Simpson, getting it out wide. They've got a chance through that youngster to go towards the half-forward zone. Stevens over the line, the 2 number 10, Stevens and Marcus Ashcroft. This crowd now somewhat subdued, realising that their side have 8.5 minutes if they are going to get back into this game and snatch it. Hughes. First one way, then the other. Towards Starcevic. Couldn't take the mark. Had plenty of opposition, however. Geister's kick is only short. Armstrong is back in towards the middle. They're hassling him, so he eventually soccers it clear. Geister storming through, 50 metres. Geister goes for goal. Archer's at the back. He watches it sail through for 1 behind. 14-15 plays 12-11. 16 points the margin. Big Foss short. Finds Nigel Lappin. So they'll head out the other way now, as has become the custom, and hopefully find Marcus Ashcroft. But he didn't. And Wayne Schwass sees it over the line.
One has to wonder when it's late in the game and you're sort of 2 or 3 goals behind that really the short kicks out of defence, which are good percentage for most of the game, you have to really start taking the punt, I think, and getting some distance into the centre corridor and hoping you can set up a scoring opportunity.
Well, 16 points down and with only 7.5 minutes remaining. Calls for drastic measures. Voss is away here. Maybe something for Roger. No, Mickey Martin holds it up. The ball spills free. It goes to ground. Laidley's over the top. He couldn't take it cleanly. The youngster for Brisbane was Troy Johnson. Had it for a moment. Now an opportunity for Lambert. It's a high kick. It's wide. It's in towards the pocket. No mark taken. A good attempt by McIver. Here's an opportunity, but the hand pass passes barely. And 1 behind.
Kevin, was that the example of the rocket handball that was hit so hard that your teammate can't adjust? I thought Lambert could have floated the handball a bit on that occasion.
Discussing that coming up on the plane, how a lot of players sometimes just can't get that soft option. We see Trent Bartlett's on the ground now, knocking the ball out. Starcevic is off. Johnson for the Bears, kicks to the square. Chance here for Voss. So they're not out of it, the Brisbane Bears. Plenty of time to still win this game. Voss will pop this through. We've got a North Melbourne player down also, and it's John Blakey. Now they're bringing out the stretcher now. They've decided to take it back. And Blakey looks like he's going to jog off the ground. Voss should kick the Bears' 13th goal. He does. He's kicked 2. Clark. And the umpire's blown the whistle and a free kick's been given.
Bears.
And it's going to Clark. Feeds it off straight away to Scott. A long bomb into the forward line might be the option. Merritt comes out, makes a contest. Lately at the back of the pack. Short kick marked by Stevens. Sets up the loose play. Finds Scott. Gives it back to Armstrong. So North Melbourne have the runners. King gets around Champion and kicks long into the forward line. It's a one-on-one duel. Archer tries to take one out. Great kick off the ground by Archer. Has he kicked a miracle goal? He has.
Simpson started out at Eltham. Now hoping to carve a career with North Melbourne. John Northey and his team just pondering what might have been as Armstrong gets a long bomb up towards left half forward. Allison's waiting at the back. Oh, does it nicely, almost. He got the call from Glenn Archer, but it was just astray. Now it's a turnover to Michael Voss. And Voss will have a look inside 50. Here comes Scotty McIver. He's already taken the mark of the night. Chris Scott was there also. Couldn't take it cleanly. The hurried kick was by Sam McFarlane. Now Fletcher off to Hart. The Bears are still trying desperately to get something going. Inside 50, a big pack of players. They need someone coming past to have a quick snap at goal. There's holding on going on there. And it's gone against Craig Lambert. He is stunned, as you can see.
Yes, I think it's fair to say that Lambert thought he should have got the free kick, but there was a bit of hanging on, I think, by both players there. I think he just mentioned to the umpire he thought he was a bit stiff.
Mentioned, just in passing.
So a ball up on the edge of the centre square.
I think as the games wore on, the 3 big on-ballers, Schwass, or the North Melbourne's big 3, Schwass, Stevens and Armstrong, have really got, you know, Schwass has been good all night, but Stevens and Armstrong in the second half have been very good.
Champion just tried to crash his way through, did well, got his boot to the ball. It's inside 50. Starcevic beaten by Geister. DeVos shows a ton of courage, back to young Johnson. Backing back is Fairley. That took courage too. Starcevic falls over the critical moment. Kicked off the ground by Mighty Mick. Then sinks the slipper in it again. And Scholl very happy to see the ball just run over the boundary line.
One thing about Mick Martin, he plays within his limitations. He doesn't try to do what he can't do. Kick a ball off the ground. Don't try and pick it up. Good
Nothing
percentage
fancy.
play.
Nothing fancy with Mick. So we see Scott down to the dying seconds now as Armstrong takes it away. So North Melbourne, maybe this is the last chance for them to kick a goal. Ground level. White's back on the ground. Lee wanted him on earlier to Buse.
But there it is, KB. North Melbourne are home. 15 points the margin. And still a bit being said by Scholl and Scott as they separate now. Got a little bit of feeling there. But the Bears are out, so that means they will now journey to Lavington to play Collingwood. And North Melbourne will take on Carlton in a semi-final of the Ansett Australia Cup. And that should be a ripper of a clash. Let's go down to the boundary line. It looks like Dipper's got the Williamstown Fisherman with him.
The Williamstown Fisherman Ian Fairley. Well, what can I say? What a tight game that was.
Yeah, Dipper was pretty tight. The Bears had a real good go, and credit to our guys. We've had a syndrome on us like no Carey, no North, and I thought the boys done real well tonight. Sort of wiped that fury right at the back door.
It was a really hard game tonight. I mean, from ground level, from the first quarter, you really backed up in that third quarter?
Yeah, well, we played real well. Our back line backed up all night. Our on balls put a lot of pressure on the midfield, which made it a bit easier for us. And the young guys we had down forward really done well too. So after the start, the first quarter, we picked our game up a bit and done real well.
Yeah, we're talking about the conditions here at the Gabba. I mean, you are sweating here. It is quite warm out here.
Well, I suppose early in the season, Dipper, I'm trying to get a bit fit, but no, it is pretty humid, and you play all over Australia these days, and you've got to get used to those sort of things, you know.
A great game, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Dipper.
Yes, thank you, Dipper. And Ian Fairley leaves the ground with his side victorious and going into the semi-finals, as I said, with a spot against Carlton. North Melbourne 15-15, 105, have defeated Brisbane 13-12, 90.
Thank you for the laughter, and I thank you for the tears, and I thank you just for helping us to overcome our fears.
And although that breeze has been talked about and discussed, it has been a little fickle throughout the night, but a good performance by North Melbourne with the personnel that they had to go on with the job in that final quarter.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I thought they could probably still win without Carey, but without McKernan and Capuano, I would have thought that would have been too big a task for them. But they really worked hard. I think it often happens sort of when a Carey's missing that they really sort of don't want to be known as a one-man team, so they really have an up night emotionally. Well, so they work really hard.
Yeah, it was interesting, as Ian Fairley said, you know, this theory of no Carey, no North, let's dispel that one. Allison was a real danger down forward, Brett. He finished with 5 goals.
Yes, he always is. He's always a really dangerous ground level forward. It's a hard position to play. You're not going to kick 5 goals very often, but Allison is one of those who can do it better than most.
I guess also you must consider the conditions. It's been very warm here for the players, as Ian Fairley said in that interview, and yet the Bears who've trained here over the summer, it was North who ran out the better.
All in all, it's humid. The sun's not out, obviously, being at night, but the humidity still makes it a bit tough.
That'll get you beaten, man.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the sun's the thing that saps you more than the heat, I feel. But nevertheless, North still played the game out strong, which is a good indication of their general preparation.
Obviously very positive sides for North with those big guns to come back into the
absolutely.
outfit.
Well, I think as we mentioned earlier, Mark Roberts in the first quarter, Matthew Clark was well on top, and Mark Roberts went into the sort of ruck position, pushed forward, become a bit of a goal kicker, and that position became one where North were on top.
And there you can see North going on with the job in the final quarter from those highlights. They booted 5 goals in the last quarter to the Bears 2, 15-15, 105. To the Brisbane Bears 13-12. It wasn't all doom and gloom though for the Brisbane Bears. I think we saw one of the marks of the Ansett Cup, didn't we, with Scotty McIver. If you missed it, have a look at this again.
Sensational fly by Scotty, and as you said in the call, the unfortunate thing with these, you do have to come down, don't you?
You have to come down, and if you lie flat on your back, you've got a chance. But so many marking players end up having knee problems because if they don't do it once, they, you know, landing from a great height, that does put plenty of pressure on your knees if you land on your legs.
North gone to meet Carlton in a semi-final.
Yes.
On what you've seen tonight, do you think they can beat them?
I'd fancy North a little bit. I don't know. Well, Carey obviously won't play. I'm not sure about